and we read so many books, we forget and think that it's all about us. But don't understand that there is a chain, there is a teacher. We forget about the teacher. We understand that someone came before me, laid the foundation, and gave me the right to do the privilege and the honor to do what I'm doing right here, right now. Each and every one of us. Asha? So let's talk about it. Osiris, Horus, Seth, Isis, and Nephthys were brought into being from the womb. Y'all see that? From the womb. Men don't have womb, right? So Ra couldn't do it. Newt had to have a womb, right? Right? But something had to permeate that to get it up in there, right? We talk about the sun and we talk about the moon. We talk about the moon as a reflection of the sun. But both of them really work together to make sure that this manifestation that we see here really works together, right? Without the moon, we will be in trouble. Without the sun, we will be in trouble. We can't do without one another. Sometimes we say, well, if you drop the sun if the sun disappeared for 1 second, then it'll turn to an ice cube. But try not having the moon as well. And see what happens. You probably have floods and all types of things. So there is a balance. The balance is necessary. Balance is not a scapegoat. It's not a scapegoat. Balance is true. The world was created in balance. Ashe? Ashe. Am I doing all right off the top of my head right now, y'all?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, with that, again, they were brought into being from the womb, one after another, and they gave birth to the multitudes to this land. Ashe? Ashe. So understand, if creation was in balance, what would give you the false impression that everything else isn't supposed to be balanced? If the Creator, Him herself, y'all caught that? Him herself, her himself, y'all want me to say that? We don't want any fights. You know what I'm saying? So if the Creator, Creatress, the Almighty, whatever you want to call it, had to create and balance, what makes you believe that if you are out of balance that you can create? If you are out of balance, you will understand why every time you feel like you always end up in the same place, because you've been out of balance. So we have to stay in balance. We have to balance our life. We have to balance our schedules. We have to balance spirituality with the physical. Look, that's another myth. We can't have the spirit without the physical. You've been taught in the Christian church that the physical is no good, but the spirit is everything. And your spirit ain't nothing until the Holy Ghost jump up in you. But understand that spirit is already in you, and if you don't have the flesh, you cannot manifest what that spirit is about. You have to. I'm not saying spirit is always right, because you can have a devilish, a satanic, a Setian spirit in you.
Teach, brother.
Right?
That's right.
So if you have this Setian spirit in you, it will manifest in front of us in material. Ashe? Are y'all catching me?
Yes, sir.
So brothers and sisters, what I'm saying is we must do everything in balance. So let's see what we're going to talk about next. Let's see if we can go to the Odu Ifa. I don't know exactly what it's going to say, I don't know exactly what it's going to say, but we can go into the Odu Ifa on balance and see what it's all about. Now, if you turn to, I know y'all don't have the book, but if you purchase the Odu Ifa, it's a very nice book. It's actually the Ifa is like a divination system of West Africa. If you don't know what a divination is, when you do some type of ritual so that you can get a clear understanding of what your purpose is and what you should be doing. Ashe? Or any type of thing that you need to be revealed to you. Okay? So let's read it as if this is what it is. It says, "Let us not engage the world hurriedly. Let us not grasp at the rope of wealth impatiently." Y'all hear that? Because I know everybody here, we think about the wealth. Yeah, right? We think about more money. We think about it, we want it faster and sooner than it's time. It's not time yet. But if you grab at the rope, the opposite of impatiently is what? Patiently, it will come. Ashe? And wealth is not only money, cars, and big screen TVs. Wealth comes in many different forms. It goes on to say that which should be treated with mature judgment, let us not deal with it in a state of uncontrolled passion. Let us not deal with it in a state of uncontrolled passion. You have to have mature judgment. You cannot let your passion overtake you. And the Who says that you must think with heart and mind. That is balance. Some of us talk about the left brain and the right brain. What do y'all say? The woman thinks with the what? Left. The man thinks with the what? We talking about today, we want to think with both sides. Each and every one of us. We're going to stop using that excuse. Because we know we all are capable of doing so, right? So again, let us not deal with it in a state of uncontrolled passion. Control yourself. Master yourself. And I have to say this. If you just came out of church or been in the church recently and you understand the principles of what the church was teaching, they're not wrong. Don't throw that stuff away. Because when you throw it away, then you come super conscious, but you're only thinking with intellect, and then you ain't even really thinking with intellect. You just doing. You just, you become more Eurocentric, but you think you're becoming more conscious. Because the reality of being African is not knowing all these dates. The reality of African is not saying that you're African. That is just knowing you now have been raised to a conscious level to understand that you have been lied to. But we can't live in a life just thinking that because you know that you've been lied to, that now somehow that you are African. Because an African that never been lied to doesn't have to talk about that. Because being African in itself, in the way we use it, is an ideal way of living. Now, have there been bad or ignorant Africans? Of course. Because if there wasn't, we wouldn't have a need to have spiritual systems put in place. They wouldn't know nothing about bad. It wouldn't be a good if there wasn't a bad. There wouldn't be a bad if there wasn't a good. Ashe. There's everything in every culture, all forms, all shapes. Now, when you talk about on a global scale, when you talk about African people and what they did in the universe and what they did in the world, that's a difference. But as a group of people, we have done great things. We have not done what these Europeans have done to people everywhere they went. We can talk about that. But there are some Europeans that are good Europeans as well. But like Malcolm said, I don't got no time trying to figure out who it is. Right? That's right. I don't have no time to figure out who it is because I'm trying to help my people. But now that's the truth. Now once we get our people together, now we understand that some kind of way, we got to be able to reach them too. And we got to be able to reach our Latino brothers and sisters. We got to be able to reach everybody because this game is not only being played on us. This game that we call the master magician, what I call the master magician, because everybody else is people, we are fooled by this. We think that somehow our problem is with our Latino brothers who come to get the job. He's trying to survive. And we're mad at him because he's taking away, or we think that he's somehow opposing on our survival. Right? That's right. This is the survival of the fittest? But we still mad at now. We're mad at him. We're mad at the Asians. We're mad at everybody besides who we need to be mad at. Right? We even break up into factions of male and versus female and all this and all that. We have to understand that without the male and female coming together, there will not be any life-giving principles. And I'm not talking only physically. I'm talking about spiritually, emotionally, and all those other leads. Okay? I say, my brother. So it says that when we arrive at a cool place, let us rest fully. Let us give continuous attention to the future. Let us give continuous attention to the future. Let us give deep consideration to the consequences of things. Let's talk about it. In this divination, it said, let's give continuous attention to the future, meaning don't get caught up in your current state. If you focus more on where you are trying to be or what you're trying to accomplish, then you will be more productive. Because if you get caught up with what's going on right now, you will never change that situation. You'll become stagnant and die in it. Everything that's stagnant dies. You have to move. You have to constantly move. Ashe?
Ashe.
So, with that, let's give deep consideration to the consequences of things. When we do things, when we do a thing, when we plan to do a thing, we must always think about the consequences. We have to gauge what is safe. We have to make calculated decisions. Ashe? Because if we do things and things are going to happen by happenstance, then we are misleading ourselves and people around us. Ashe?
Ashe.
So it goes on to say, again, I'm going to say this. Let us give deep consideration to the consequences of things, and this because of our eventual passings. Ashe?
Ashe.
And what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to go into the commentary and see if Malana Karenga breaks it down and what this teaching means. So in the commentary, Dr. Malana Karenga says, this is a teaching on having a measured approach to achieving the good life. It reflects the Odu, stress on virtue of Iwan, or balance. Y'all catch that? Should I say it again?
Say it again, please.
This is a teaching on having a measured approach to achieving the good life. It reflects the Odu, stress, on the virtue of the Iwan, or balance. Y'all got that? And the Amuan, the balanced person. So this teaching is on the stress or balance or the balanced person. Y'all got it? We are not to engage the world in a hurried, heedless, or reckless manner. Nor are we to seek material gain impatiently. Nor are we to seek material gain impatiently. Now that's one of our problems. We seek material gain, and every time we turn around, we always end up in the same place. Why? Because we want things to come too fast. So before we can get on the ship, our foot is already on another. You got what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we want to understand why we never see things come to fruition. We can't even let the boat sail. We don't even leave the dock. Ashe?
Ashe.
For although Odu ethics poses wealth as one of the main blessings in life, as well as an important condition to live a truly full life and a means to aid and share with others, there is continuous concern that pursuit of material gain not be excessive or all-consuming. Y'all get that? Don't consume yourself with chasing that. One of my mentors in the business arena said, if you chase what you love, the wealth will come. Versus chasing the wealth. Because if you only doing a thing because you want the wealth, the people around you can even see that. People don't even want to deal with you because they know you have one agenda, and that is the wealth. And they understand that even because your overall purpose in life is for wealth, they may be